Hello and welcome to the first lesson in the Arabic pronunciation. In this series, I told you we'll talk about how to pronounce the Arabic letters. I'm not focusing here on giving some vocabs or making sentences. I just want to focus on this series on producing the sounds of the Arabic letters correctly. Later on, we will make sentences and we will learn more about the vocabs. So in this series, in this first lesson of that series, we will talk about the harf al-alif, the letter alif. Okay, so this is how it looks like, and it sounds like a in the English language. It sounds like a, like apple. So is the same sound. You notice that small thing about that alif? Alif, actually, it's composed of two things. It looks like one in the English language, and above it, there is something called hamza. Hamza is the one responsible for making the sound a. I'll give you some examples. So, ana. Ana means I or me, depending on the sentence. So, it can be a subject or it can be an object. We have anta. Anta means you in the singular form. You see, in the Arabic language, we have three forms, not two forms. We have the singular form, and we have the two persons form, which is called muthanna, and we have the plural form, which is called jama'. Okay, so this is the singular form, the first person, the singular person. So anta means you. There's another example, antum. Antum means you, but in the plural form. So as we talked, it sounds like a in the English language, and the sound comes from the chest. Let's move to the next example. Do you see that small thing about above hamza? That thing is circled in red. This is called fatha. That's the one responsible for making the sound a. You remember I told you that hamza is the one responsible for making the sound a in the alif, in the harf al-alif, in the letter alif. But this is not exactly, because a can be u and it can be e, depending on what's above that hamza. So the sound, this haraka, it's called fatha, is responsible for making different sounds. The sound can be a or u or e. So in this example, it was a because we put fatha, like ana, anta, and antum. Okay. If we go to the next example, we have ustadh. Ustadh, we have above it dhamma. Dhamma is the one responsible for making the sound u. So ustadh means a teacher. Ukht. Ukht means a sister. Udhun. Udhun means ear. And we have urkud. Urkud means to order someone to run. So I know it might be hard for you to pronounce some words like ukht, for example. For the English speakers, it can be hard for them to pronounce these letters, but don't worry. I just want to focus now on the first letter, a, that it can be pronounced in different sounds like a or u or e, depending on what's above the hamza. So in the next example, we will see that the alif has become e, like ibn. Okay, do you see that thing under the hamza? It's called kasra. This is responsible for making the sound e. So ibn. Ibn means son. The second example, ism. Ism means name. Ila. So ila means to, like ila al-madrasa, to the school. So I told you before that alif is composed of that thing that looks like number 1 and the hamza. And this is responsible for making the sound a or u or e, depending on what's above that hamza. So what if we remove that hamza? If we remove the hamza, then we will have something called mad in Arabic. Mad means to elongate the sound of the letter before that letter alif. For example, we have here katib. Okay, do you see that red letter? This is alif in the middle of the word. But before that, we have a letter called kaf, which makes the sound like K in English. So if we don't put the letter alif in the middle, then it will be kataba, which is katab, which is like to write. But now we have alif in the middle, so the sound should be more elongated. So katib, katib. Katib means a writer. Okay. The second example, jamid, jamid. Jamid means jamid means solid. And the third example, ra'i'. Ra'i' means amazing. So another example, sama. Now we have more two things. We put the alif as mad to elongate the sound of the letter before it, which is meme, which is the one circled here. Meme produced the sound of similar to the letter m in English. So ma, it should be ma. Okay. Plus we have hamza at the end of that letter, at the end of that word. So hamza produced, I told you, hamza produced the sound of ah. So we have elongation of the sound and we have ah at the end. So it should be sama. Okay, so sama means sky. Dawa. Dawa means a medicine. And raja, which means hope. So I hope this is not hard for you and you don't get panic because this is all about practicing your mouth and tongue to make new sounds. So don't worry about pronouncing the different letters. I'm just focus on pronouncing the letter that we're talking about in this lesson. As you go more, as you move on in these lessons, you will know how to pronounce the different letters of the Arabic language. And it's all about practice, as I said. So you used before to pronounce different sounds. Now you have to open your mouth and move your tongue in a different way to produce different sounds. And that's all about learning a new language. So I hope by the end of these lessons, you will be able to pronounce these Arabic letters in a correct way. Thank you so much.